3, 2, 1.
What's up, everyone? Dan here, Crypto Capital Venture, November 10th, 2018. You saw it in the title. It's not clickbait. We're going to talk about a $250,000 Bitcoin, specifically based off of Tim Draper and his recent comments. And we're going to look at the specifics of that. Like, how can that happen? Do I think it will happen? And ultimately, I want to know if you think it will happen. So before we jump into the video, I tweeted the other day, I said I came to crypto because I saw an enormous opportunity to make money. And I want to just throw that out there. I want to throw that out there to the world, to the crypto world. It's also why I'm still here. I think many try and hide this truth. And so maybe I passively sometimes hide that truth because I just don't talk about it a lot. I came here to make money. And I want to highlight that by saying that the friendships, the learning, the business, and experience are the things that make me passionate about it. So yeah, I did come here for money. However, I stayed here because I built a business here. I shifted my entire recruiting firm into the blockchain and cryptocurrency space. I've met a ton of awesome people, and I'm learning like crazy every day. And it's cool that I came here to make money, but I'm staying here not only to make money, but to have some fun and to build a business. So I want to be transparent about that because I think it gets lost in all the conversation about blockchain and crypto adoption and people saying that they're here for the technology. I disagree with that. The technology is here for us. I'm not here for the technology. The technology is here for us. So let's start with this article. Tim Draper stands by his Bitcoin price prediction of $250,000 in 2022. Venture capital investor Tim Draper reaffirmed his prediction that the Bitcoin price will reach $250,000 by 2022 during a panel discussion at the Web Summit Conference November 6th. Here's what he said. Yes, we are talking about 5% market share to get to $250,000. That seems like a drop in a bucket, and all we need to really do is make it so that Bitcoin can be used to buy Starbucks coffee. And all of a sudden, the world just opens up and they say, I've got this choice. Do I want a currency that I can take from country to country, or do I want one that sticks me in one country or one geographic area and I can't use it anywhere else? Speaking of fiat, I think that quote is awesome for many different reasons, which we'll talk about in this video. But the article continues. Draper also questioned the need for fiat currencies or political currencies, stating, why do we even trust currencies that are determined by some weird political party or another? In Draper's view, banks issue money whenever they feel like it or for whatever reason they want it. And the emergence of a totally apolitical, global, and open currency would cede control of money from banks to common people, he explained. So we'll end this article with this little piece. In September, Draper made another prediction saying that the total cryptocurrency market capitalization will hit $80 trillion in the next 15 years. Draper argued that the significant slide in cryptocurrency market in previous months is attributed to people who had not adopted digital currencies as a new asset class. So let's put some context about what Draper is talking about. So first off, we have this $250,000 Bitcoin in basically the next 4 years, 3 to 4 years. And he's basing that off of a 5% market share for Bitcoin. And secondly, he's talking about an $80 trillion in market cap in the next 15 years for the cryptocurrency market. I agree with both of these numbers. The only thing I might not agree with is the time frames. I think the time frames are a little aggressive, but that's the only thing I disagree with. But he could be right. So let's look at this. Here is a nice little chart, and I'll put the link in the description, putting the world's money into perspective. So on the screen, you see back here is Bitcoin. Back here is Bitcoin, and this article is, it's not completely up to date. Like right now, the market cap for Bitcoin, it's around 111. So let's see, what did this article say it was at, or this chart? 112 billion. So it is pretty accurate. But you can see the market cap for Bitcoin is basically Jeff Bezos, founder of Amazon, his net worth. That, first off, for just really solid context to this video, shows you how early we are. And second off, we can look at a couple things. We can look at physical money around 34 trillion, and we can look at all money, 86 trillion. which is basically Draper saying that the entire cryptocurrency market as a whole can get to 86 trillion. But let's look at the $86 trillion number in terms of Bitcoin alone, and in terms of the 5% that Draper threw out there. So I'm going to need to basically get the calculator pulled up. So we have a calculator. We have the 86 trillion number. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There's 86 trillion. And we can divide that by, or actually first we want to multiply that by 5%. So we multiply it by 5% and we have around 4.3 trillion. And then what we want to do is, we can take right around, just for the sake of this video, right around 18 trillion or 18 million circulating supply Bitcoin. And we can divide this 5% number, 4.3 trillion, we can divide it by 18 million. So we have around a $238,000 Bitcoin. So pretty close to Draper's $250,000 Bitcoin that he says will happen by 2022. So I put it on a chart. I wanted to look at this and I wanted to share it with you. And I also want to get your thoughts. Here's the weekly chart. First off, it is my favorite chart in the world. I'm long on Bitcoin. Hopefully you are too. And this just gives us a beautiful picture of where best to accumulate, right? So it's always great to accumulate Bitcoin, but where best to accumulate. So here's the weekly chart. And I did something first. First, I looked at, well, where was that previous all-time high to the 2013 all-time high? And you can see 211 weeks, right? From that time span to that time span. And then, because I'm trying to get inside Draper's head, I'm trying to figure out, what is he thinking? And I don't know if this is it or not, but it's interesting that it aligns perfectly with what he's saying. If we take the date range again from this all-time high to a potential all-time high again, and we go to 211 bars, 211 weeks, look where that takes us. It literally takes us to 2022. So I wonder if Draper's looking at cycles of Bitcoin and saying, hey, I think it'll be around the same time frame where we're going to hit our next all-time high in 2022, and I think is going to be $250,000, because I think he's saying we can get to a 5% market share in terms of where the rest of the world is. So when you look at this screen, we have some things going on here. We have 2022, obviously over here. We have the upper trend line of this long-term trend for Bitcoin. This would be a nice new all-time high, wouldn't it? And right around the $250,000 mark. And you can see this green square that I have here looks very small on the screen. That is basically $200,000 to $250,000. That's that green square. That's the target. So if Bitcoin does just a piece of that, right? Here's $100,000. So if Bitcoin, if we go back to this chart and we look at this, if Bitcoin does 5% of physical money, let's just take physical money. If Bitcoin can get 5% of that market share, we have this right around here, a little bit over $100,000 mark in terms of Bitcoin possibly new all-time high. So whether or not either of these things happens by 2022, that's up for debate. I don't know. I don't know why I naturally think it'll take a little bit longer. However, I truly believe that it's 100% possible. It truly is 100% possible. And I'd go even further to say it could happen before 2022. I do believe we will see a $250,000 plus Bitcoin. So I want to shift this over to the daily chart on Bitcoin in the same chart. And I have here just a little picture down here at this bottom. And I just put time is running out. And that box that I have on the screen extends to around July of 2019. And if this, we have this time frame of around 211 weeks that we just talked about. If Bitcoin continues that track and we see a similar type of time frame, it would be safe to say that we could be in this bear market in this bottom for a little bit longer, right? And that's what this looks like. a little bit longer with potential capitulation happening, right? So it sounds dreary and dark, right? Like, and this box goes down to around 3,500 because I do not believe we would see a bottom lower than $3,500 Bitcoin. Everybody knows this is a huge accumulation area for me, right? Even where we are is a huge accumulation area and opportunity. But this time frame, if we were to continue, similar to how we continued towards this bottom trend line before we went up, right? We continue in this time, literally as I do this video, and maybe a couple months in advance from doing this video, time is running out. Time is running out for accumulation, in my opinion. And that doesn't mean if we bounce off the bottom here and start continuing up, that it's not going to be an excellent investment to invest in Bitcoin. But right now, it truly is, from all-time highs up here, it truly is an opportunity of a lifetime, in my opinion, for so many reasons. If you can think like a VC, think like a venture capitalist, and invest like one, right, which requires a lot of patience, I think many of us will win. I truly do. And so to wrap it all together, a $250,000 Bitcoin, yes. This video is not clickbait. That article, that Tim Draper quote is very real, is very attainable, and I truly believe it will happen. Those are my thoughts. And yes, I think a lot of you came here for the same reason I did, to make some money. And if we can have some fun during that process, heck yeah, I'm all for that. I love it. And that's kind of where the passion comes from for me. It's not because I adore the technology. I'm still learning about it. So I can't love it that much because there's still a lot about it that I do not understand. So what are your thoughts? $250,000 Bitcoin by 2022? Sooner? Later? I want to know. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I would love to have you as part of the channel. I appreciate all of you. I hope you have an awesome weekend. I will see you in the next video, and God bless.